by the entire comprehensive plan and the consultant at that time.
The total is $160,000 for the consultant for 2 different studies. 50
Right.
of it is for the
For
Summerfield
theirs.
Road.
And the other is for working on the ordinances
Development
and changes.
Mhm.
But it's my understanding that if this is done along at the same time, then that will make that easier to work. If they do these along, then they're going to be changing the ordinances for this area of town anyway.
It would allow us to implement at the same time changes recommended from the small area plan directly into the ordinance as that ordinance gets rewritten. So there'd be no lag time between the two. And it'd be able to flow right into it. So that's how, that'll be one of the benefits of doing it together, is it wouldn't delay that work being done, which would basically be behind a part of town, instead of addressing it.
Okay. Thanks.
And what was read about the small area plan or the special area plan, whatever it's called, the consultant is the facilitator of that process. That was his plan for that small area.
Our consultant should be the
I
facilitator.
believe we do,
We think we
because
will.
we have tried to plan the downtown area of Summerfield Road, was considered to be the historic part of Summerfield, on multiple occasions, and whenever it is attempted to be done without an outside support, the accusations of sharing, playing, messing with things is always raised. And by bringing an outside consultant, we eliminate that issue. They're there to do what the people want to have done, just like he did for the comprehensive plan.
I have the greatest respect for him. I think he does a wonderful job. And I thought that he would be good to do the development ordinance because he has a proven track record with us. What kind of input do we have from the people on Summerfield Road that they want to change that area?
It may not be that it does change based on their input, but it would codify what is there so that we don't have to continue to argue that issue every time a rezoning comes up over the next 5 years. I mean, that's been the issue, is that every time there's a development proposal for Summerfield Road, there gets this big argument as to you're changing Summerfield Road, or we don't want it, or we would do it if it was this way, but our ordinance doesn't let you do it that way. So there's that constant push-pull between what is today and what some people's vision of it is in the future. People who live in that area, people who own property in that area, have a right to have that discussion. And we basically hamstrung that process because we said we were going to do a comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan is finished. It does have elements that reflect some items in the comprehensive plan. There are some things that could be implemented without doing a small area plan. But if you want to basically close the loop, is my belief, because I put it in the budget, that we do a small area plan and close that hole and be done with it, basically. And so we can then have a plan, have the ordinances necessary, and move forward as a community.
Okay. Based on what you just said, I'll withdraw my objection to the $50,000 being put in the budget for the Summerfield Road study.
I'm sorry for that.
That's, you go right ahead, because I'm laughing too.
Well, that's what this process is like. It's like making sausage. Nobody says it's pretty, but you have to go through the process.
He's stunned. He doesn't know. He just can't believe it. Is that right?
I appreciate your support.
I didn't say I supported the budget. I just the objections after that.
I would take what I can do.
Okay, I have another question, and the attorney can stop me if I'm speaking out of line here. But we also have a discussion about purchasing property for the town hall. That money is not in the budget, and that bothers me because this is not an accurate budget. If you're going to be spending money on a town hall and the budget doesn't reflect it.
You're going to be spending money on time.
I'm not spending any money.
That has been very clear, that because I did not know whether council was serious moving forward on the purchase of property in downtown Summerfield, that my budget does not include funds for it. It doesn't mean that the council can't put the money in that they think would be necessary to purchase that property. But in my opinion, when I was building this budget, the numbers started months ago, that we weren't far enough along for me to say that was something that was going to be in that budget.
But you want us to vote on a budget that's not complete, as
I
far
don't-
as, in my opinion.
I have to have a budget vote on it because the
Continue,
state
they have to
depends.
continue with what I was talking about, Walter. In closed session, and I will not disclose closed session amount, we know what our appraisal is on the piece of property. We now know through the manager that he wishes 10 acres instead of a larger tract. And that we know that, and my idea was in lieu of the $225,000 for the ball field for the road and the road construction issue, that we cut to 125. That with 100,000 that is left there, we put in a capital account, and that along with our property on Summerfield Road, which we have a buyer, we know what it is appraised at, we have a buyer for it. That is pretty close to what our appraisal said in closed session. And they use that, use the statement, whatever. In theory, the council could decide separately to do that, to make an offer or not at some point. I would think that should the council not decide to be interested in that property, there are other properties now that we're down to 10 acres. Now there are other properties that could be looked at. So yes, there's a good chunk of money if you can take that $100,000 and put it in a capital account for the purpose of this land for eventual land. So
I think we need to decide on that before we vote on the budget.
I do agree, and that's what I asked, that as we vote on whether or not among the COLA and the merit that we vote on that, and that would give some guidance to the manager as to what to do, with things, and with some guidance too. Are we, if we're ready to, if we don't have any other discussion on that portion of it, do we have a motion to use the $100,000 from the ball field, $225,000, and to put it in a capital account for future land work? And I think the thing with that, if such a motion is made and voted on successfully, would that clear us as far as we would be legal then having that in a capital account?
Capital allocation.
Right. Okay. So that's what an idea come up with on the weekend. So, do we have a motion by anyone for that?
So what we're saying here, that $100,000 is coming out of the budget, whether we decide to put it in a capital account or not.
No, it would still be in the budget, it would just be put in a different place, is my understanding.
Right, that's
from
what
you
I
just said.
Okay.
If we could, instead of going nowhere, if we could in a capital
So that the
account.
budget doesn't change.
It doesn't change. That's what I asked.
It doesn't change, but it doesn't mean that we are going to spend it right.
I'd like to request a public hearing on the budget amendment to start a new government complex, to set aside $100,000 to create a multi-million-dollar government complex. All I'm asking for is a public hearing on it.
Do we have a motion by any council member for reallocation of the $100,000 into a capital account?
I'll make that motion, Ray.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Ray, we have a second by Mr. Williams. Do we have further discussion? Okay, all in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Okay, all opposed? 4-1, the motion passes. The $100,000 in the capital account. The next, one of the other items that we need to talk about is the COLA. And it's totally up to y'all, do we do a COLA or not? Do you have a motion to provide the COLA to the 5 employees? Okay, not hearing a motion, do we have a motion to do a merit for the 5 employees? Not hearing anything. I think this was most of the major questions that we had in the council had, but do we have, Mr. Manager?
I'm sorry, there's two things that, what was your question?
Then the attorney asked for the wording on the capital. Did you say capital fund or capital allocation? Was the motion and the approval for capital allocation within the budget?
Is there a difference?
Yes.
Yes.
Could we get explained the difference before we go there?
A capital fund is a separate, we have a general fund, which is where we run all our revenues and expenses. A capital fund is a separate fund that you set up to run all your expenditures for capital purposes. We have never used a capital fund. Our intent in the past has been to have revenue and expenses and for capital projects to be completed in 1 year. Of course, that has not happened, but that was our intent. So we have never used a capital fund. So we do not currently have any capital fund set up. So this, what we've done in the past is allocate a portion of the budget to set aside and to reserve it for capital uses in the future. So I just wanted to clarify that. We had talked about a capital allocation, but in case there was any confusion in the actual wording of the actual motion, I wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page.
What do y'all prefer?
Capital allocation.
Allocation.
Yes.
Do we need to re-vote?
To clarify the motion?
Just as long as everybody, that's what everybody voted on?
Yes, the finance officer is clarifying.
Okay, everybody.
Can I get clarification on something? This $100,000 is coming from where?
It's being removed from the land acquisition / development of ball fields and being moved to capital allocation.
Thank you.
In the budget.
Okay, Mr. Manager, are you satisfied that we covered most of all the loose ends that we had?
I just want to make sure, because that you asked the question whether there were any motions on COLA and on merit.
And I had no response.
Okay.
And you put COLA in
There's
the.
2% COLA in the budget,
You
so.
put 2% in the budget.
Yes.
I misunderstood.
Okay.
So you said it wasn't in the
I did.
That's why I was asking for clarification.
Okay, let's go back there with that again. So there is a 2% COLA already in the budget. Does the council wish for that to remain in the budget? And if so, then let's do it with a motion to clarify.
I make a motion that it remain in the budget.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Williams that the COLA remain in the budget. We have a second.
A second.
Second by Ms. Laughlin. Do we have further council discussion? Okay, all in favor of the motion, raise your hand. Okay, all opposed? No. Motion passes. Now, I asked about the merit and I had no response. And I assume that is not in the budget. And I'm assuming that, that was my error earlier. Sorry about that. Mr. Manager, are you comfortable that the budget is votable?
There's a couple items that we need to address since we addressed the issue of approving debt, in that the revenue line items for interest will actually go up by $30,000. That there'll now be a interest expenditure of approximately $21,000. We'll use that as a placeholder number, it should be close to that. So that those would also be modified in the budget.